Good morning. This is UPSC mains previous year question. See, if you go through the question, the question says constitutionally guaranteed independence is a prerequisite of the democracy. So, how we need to answer this question? So, what are the keywords? First, we need to look for the keywords. What are the keywords? Judicial independence and the democracy. So, answer should focus on these two things. The first we need to define what is judicial independence and why it is required. Why it is required. So, and then we need to mention about the see what are the elements of the effective what are the elements of a good democracy that we can need to give a brief intro, brief overview, and then how judicial independence is guaranteed in our constitution we need to mention, and then if you possible we can mention about the how judicial independence is violated in recent times we can mention, and then we can conclude. So this is the normal or general structure of the answer. If we can go through this answer, like we can see in the introduction, the aspirant has mentioned about the she gave a simple definition of the judicial independence. She's saying the autonomy and impartiality. So it allows judiciary to function without interference. So, if judiciary works independently, it ensures rule of law, checks and balances, and the protects the human rights. She is saying. So, and she also mentions about the she gave a brief overview of what are the prerequisites of a democracy. So she has mentioned what she mentioned like fundamental rights, constitutionalism, free and fair elections, checks and balances, universal franchise, rule of law, judicial independence. These are all requisites of a prerequisites of a democracy. So then she mentions about the constitutionally, how constitutionally judicial independence is guaranteed in our constitution. She mentions about the security tenure, salary allowances, powers of jurisdiction, and contempt of the court. She mentions about the contempt of the court, and then mentions about the separation of the judiciary from the executive and the power of judicial review. So the all these things which are mentioned in the constitution ensures the judicial independence, she's saying. And then she comes again, she comes again why judicial independence is required. She giving the elaborative to the she gives an elaborate explanation saying that it safeguards against the executive overreach. It here she can mention about the Manka Gandhi case. Manka Gandhi case. Protection of the fundamental rights, right to privacy, and the Kashwan and the Bharti case. And then we can mention about the free and impartial adjudication, and then and then upholding the rule of law and ensures the public confidence in the democracy. So she mentions the why judicial independence is required. So what needs to be added to these answers to get see this is really a good answer. So what are the small modifications that we need to do in order to get an extra bit of 1 mark and half mark? See first what does she needs to do is it needs to come at the it needs to come after the introduction, and then it needs to be followed by the how constitutionally it is guaranteed, right? And further see here we need to mention the examples. We need to mention the examples. Right to privacy, Puttu Swami case. Puttu Swami case, it is related to the privacy and free and impartial adjudication and judicial review accountability. See, and she also needs to mention about the recent trends. See how what are the issues. See how judicial independence is violated in current times. See, we can see the appointment of the Supreme Court judges nominated for the Rajya Sabha, And we can see a issue called uncle judge syndrome, where it is a kind of nepotism in the judiciary. And further, currently in recent times, judiciary did not involve when there is division of the when the Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated and given the status of union territory, and it doesn't involve when there's a COVID cases. So these are all raising the questions on the functioning of judiciary and politicizations sometimes, and even NGAC. So when NGAC, National Judicial Appointment Commission, when government tried to bring a parliament law stating about how judges should be appointed, it judiciary said it nullified. Say while judiciary is expecting the accountability from other parts of the other important parts of the constitutional bodies like parliament, executive, but it is not it is not transparent enough to show it is accountable, to show us it is accountable. So this answer we need to have more, we need to give more examples, and we need to give the current trends, and then we can give a conclusion stating that how still we have judicial independence. Say for example, we can mention the recent any court statement, we can mention this, and we can conclude the answer. This is a very good answer. All is need to do all it in all what is required here is the restructure of the answer.